We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2, 1, mark.
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn. Today we're back at it with another standard deck tech straight out of Tarkir Dragonstorm Early Access. And this one's a little special because this one's dropping on launch day on Arena. So most of you guys are going to get your first chance to play this set today as this video goes live. But I think this deck in particular is one you should probably keep an eye on and maybe give a try to. This one's called Stormfall, and we're utilizing two of the absolute best cards in the set. The two cards that performed pretty much head and shoulders above most of the other cards that I tried during early access. This one is a token brew, an 𝑂𝑟𝑧ℏ𝑜𝑣 token brew, utilizing United Battlefront and the new Elspeth. And both of those cards are absolutely bananas in this deck. And why did I go 𝑂𝑟𝑧ℏ𝑜𝑣? Because I wanted to use some of the black cards that are really good in token decks that haven't gotten a lot of love lately, that I think are actually very underutilized and underrepresented in the meta. And I'm actually really surprised that nobody uses these cards, but you'll see as soon as we break down the deck. I think this deck is absolutely bananas. We take tokens to the next level. Elspeth is so real. United Battlefront is so broken. This deck is just bananas. Before we break it down, please like the video. It helps me get it out to so many more people and helps the channel grow. And subscribe if you're new, because I have a ton of crazy deck techs on the way. In fact, I'm going live for a marathon stream for launch day today over on Twitch, so if you're interested, come join me over there. We're going to be doing sealed and then draft and then getting right into the meat and potatoes of some crazy standard brews that I think might dominate the meta that we didn't get to during early access. It's all going down today. So I'll see you over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/QuarantineCapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. This is Stormfall. Alright, so this deck's actually pretty awesome. This is a variation on a deck I had a while ago called Skyfall, but we have some new cards from Tarkir Dragonstorm that just make it absolutely insane now. The idea is we're using a whole bunch of non-creature permanents that make tokens and give us synergy off tokens. You've seen decks like this before. We're using Caretaker's Talent to draw cards every time we make a token, be able to copy tokens, be able to pump all of our tokens, all of that nonsense. But we have some crazy new cards from Tarkir that make this thing just absolutely sing. First of all, United Battlefront. 1 white and 3 for a sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put 2 non-creature non-land permanents with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. We have insane targets for this thing to hit in this deck. Sorry for my voice. I've been under the weather and doing my best to still stream during early access and get all these decks out to you guys. So I apologize. But we have insane targets to hit with this. So we already talked about Caretaker's Talent. We've also got Corpses of the Lost. Makes a skeleton token when it enters the battlefield. All of your skeletons get +1/+0 in haste, and if you descend, you can return it to your hand. This deck has a lot of different ways of triggering descend so that you can keep getting it back and replaying it and just get an insane amount of value. And if you have Caretaker's Talent out, you're drawing a card every single time, and the fact that you can hit both of those off a United Battlefront is nuts. We also have 3 temporary lockdowns you can hit. Early board wipe. We gotta deal with the aggro. We do sweep up some of our own stuff sometimes, but we almost always come out on top regardless, because we have so much card advantage in this deck and a lot of things that do survive it that continue to pour out card advantage turn after turn. And then we've also got 2-drops that are also really good to hit with the United Battlefront. So 4 Case of the Stash Skeleton creates a skeleton token when we play it. It gets the haste and the buff from Corpses of the Lost as well, so all of those synergies are in alignment, And then if the skeleton is ever gone, we get to solve the case, and it turns into a demonic tutor. We can just sack this to fetch anything. When we sack it, we trigger the Descend on Corpses of the Lost, which is just awesome. We get to find whatever we need, and we have ways to actually sack the skeleton if we actually want to. We can sack it to Dusk Rose Reliquary and be able to exile any artifact or creature we need to. And then this artifact also has Ward 2, so if they want to get it back, it's going to cost them a little bit of extra mana to do it, which is really awesome. What's cool about Dusk Rose Reliquary is if you have a way of putting it into play without technically casting it, you don't have to pay the extra cost of sacrificing an artifact or creature. So if we find it off a United Battlefront, it just enters and exiles a thing. And even though this is just a 1 mana artifact, that is absolutely worth it if we don't have to pay the sacrifice cost. So it's another really good hit for United Battlefront, but it's kind of sneakily so. It kind of hides. It's not obvious at first that it's a good hit for it. So really, really cool that it can be used in multiple ways in this deck. And then we also have Builder's Talent. Gives us a nice 0-4 wall in the early game, stops aggro dead in their tracks. 1 mana to level it up, and all of our non-creature permanents are now putting +1/+1 counters on our creatures. Since almost everything in the deck is a non-creature permanent that creates creature tokens, we're always going to have creatures to put the counters on, and almost everything we play is going to put counters on the creatures. So even if it's just to have good blockers, the +1/+1 counters are great. But then when the tides turn and all of a sudden it's an aggro deck out of nowhere and our opponent didn't see it coming because of all the skeletons and stuff, we can start piling up those counters on those attacking creatures as well. But the best part about Builder's Talent, level 3 for 5 mana, we get to just take any non-creature, non-land permanent in our graveyard, just stick it right onto the battlefield. So all of those permanents we were just talking about that we could find with United Battlefront, we can also just rip right out of our graveyard, put right into play with a level 3 of Builder's Talent, which is absolutely insane. But we haven't talked about the other amazing new card in Tarkir Dragonstorm for this deck, and that's Elspeth Stormslayer. Guys, this card is an absolute beast. You are going to see this everywhere. Anything that's playing tokens at all is just going to run this. Heck, even if decks aren't playing tokens, they might run this. Control decks might run it. Just upticks to give you 2, upticks to give you 2. It's almost like a reusable fog in a way. They have to send all their aggression at Elspeth to try to get rid of it because it's constantly gaining loyalty while spitting out double blockers. But it can also just put +1/+1 counters on all your dudes and give them flying until your next turn, so you can block all their flyers or block bigger creatures. Or if you want to Alpha Strike for the win, it can do that. Or you can -3 to just destroy any creature an opponent controls with mana value 3 or greater. So it just kind of does everything. In token decks, it's a no-brainer because of its static ability that doubles all of the tokens that you make. So in this deck, it's absolutely bonkers because everything is making tokens. But don't underestimate how good it is even just in a vacuum by itself, because its static ability does count for its own uptick, gives you 2 1/1s instead of 1, and that +1 loyalty, which is just awesome. This card just does everything. It's probably the closest thing to an automatic include that we've gotten ever since the Wandering Emperor. And that doesn't mean it's going to be an automatic include in every white deck, but it's really good. It's really good. And if you're in tokens, I think it is an auto include for sure. It's just absolutely bananas in this deck. We're also running 1 Kaya Spirit's Justice, not as good as the new Elspeth, but it does give us a lot of versatility. We can Surveil to exile a card from a graveyard. If they're playing like Omniscience or something, we can +1 to make a 1/1 flying token to trigger our token synergies. We can also -2 exile one of our crappy creature tokens we don't need, and then exile any creature that our opponent controls. So it's reusable removal in that respect as well. So we are going to run 1. In a similar fashion, we're running 1 Liliana Dreadhorde General. Because it works with all of our token synergies. It can spit out zombies, draw us cards, trigger all our token synergies. Also, whenever a creature we control dies, we draw a card, and all of those token creatures are definitely going to be dying all of the time, so we're going to be drawing tons of cards. But it's also got a removal option, -4, each player sacks 2 creatures. So sometimes we can get rid of problematic threats on the opponent's side, and then if we do ever get to the ultimate can just take over the game. But for the most part, we're just using this for all of the extra card draw and all of the extra token synergies that we can get with it. We've got a couple 5-drops in addition to everything that I've mentioned so far. First of all, we're playing 2 Sunfalls. Originally, I thought we might need more than 2, but because we have 3 temporary lockdowns, and we have 4 Case of the Stash Skeleton, which almost always becomes a tutor at some point in the game while it's still relevant before we get run over by the opponent, it's actually pretty easy to tutor up a Sunfall when we need one, or not need one because we already got a temporary lockdown. So we're going to have 2 so that we can tutor one up, and then if we're absolutely desperate, we can tutor a second one up. I think 2 is just the right number in this circumstance. If we didn't have the tutors, I'd probably want to run a full playset, which would be kind of hard to fit. But because we do have the cases, and because they're so consistent with how often they're able to be used as tutors, we're going to run just the 2. And that frees up a couple card slots for Invasion of Tolvada, which is absolutely insane in this deck. Bring back anything from the graveyard, any non-battle permanent. And then if we can swing in and flip this thing, it gives us the Broken Sky. So all of those creature tokens we've been making get +1/+0 and lifelink. So easy to win the race after that. And also at the beginning of our end step, we just make a 1/1 white-black spirit creature token with flying, which is actually a 2/1 flying lifelink because of the buff that the Broken Sky gives to all tokens. So the Broken Sky is nuts if we can flip it. And you'd be surprised how easy that is to do because of all of the aggression we can throw at them with things like Corpse of the Lost, Case of the Stash Skeleton, and making copies of those tokens with like Caretaker's Talon level 2 and stuff. Sometimes we could just come out of nowhere with a ton of aggression and just flip it really easily. But even if we don't flip it, just getting back our Elspeth that they had to bend over backwards to finally get rid of, or one of the other planeswalkers like Liliana or Kaya Spirit's Justice, or even if we're just getting back one of our smaller things, sometimes you can get back a Builder's Talent and then level it up to get something else back, and just get even more obscene value. And in fact, sometimes you can level up the Builder's Talent to just get back the Invasion of Tolvada to get something else back, but also have the Tolvada to attack and flip and get the Broken Sky. There's so many ways to get an insane amount of value in this deck, and I absolutely love it. The last thing I want to mention is that because we stuck to 2 colors, originally we were contemplating going Mardu and adding red for Chandra, the one from Aetherdrift, and Urabrask's Forge. But we realized the deck is just way more consistent if we keep it 2 colors, and it also opens up the possibility of running some utility lands in our mana base if we don't need to worry as much about 3 colors. So in the mana base, we have the normal lands you'd expect. We've got Shadowy Backstreets and Fabled Passages as ways to trigger our Descend and get our Corpse of the Lost back into our hand. We've got Concealed Courtyard and Bleachbone Verge, as well as some basics so that we can have untapped lands as often as possible that give us our colors. But the utility lands that make it really cool, we've got 2 Mirrex and 2 Fountainport. So we have 4 cards that can just spit out tokens as lands and trigger all of our token synergies. And 2 of those cards, the Fountainports, can actually sacrifice tokens to draw cards as well. So being able to have that extra just value and utility just jammed into the mana base by sticking to 2 colors instead of going 3, I think is absolutely worth it. This deck is bonkers. Finn yells at me, my editor, because I say bonkers too much, and bananas, but I can't help it, okay? Bananas are delicious. This deck is bonkers. Let's check out the games. Alright, we're up against MTG Malone, one of my unsung heroes. I think we can make this work. Keep 7. We got Backstreet on 1 to dig for a land. Don't even need a land now, we just need value. Well, that's value. That might be too much value right now, though. Let's dump it. We can always get it back later with one of the talents or Tolvada. We'll go Courtyard, Case. Feeling pretty good about this hand. Corpse of the Lost next turn. Thin out the deck with Passage on 4. If he's being super aggressive, we'll need to play Kaya. But if not... it's definitely rocking a 𝐴𝐵𝐶𝑒 ceremony, right? Okay, there's our Elspeth on 5. That's huge. Do we wait for Battlefront after Elspeth? We could maybe just do Caretaker's talent. Now we got a second one. So forget it. We're gonna find the plains. No 𝐴𝐵𝐶𝑒, which is nice. And we're just gonna use United Battlefront. We will hit Caretaker's talent and Corpse of the Lost. Swing, swing. Trade, smack. I'm gonna return one of them. I'm not gonna return the other one. Because we have an abundance of cards. And we're not going to find time to cast them all. To be completely honest. Alright, now he's got his 𝐴𝐵𝐶𝑒. Friendly Teddy, give me a card. Alright, he can't quite pop off yet. I think we just need to get out the Elspeth as soon as possible. So we'll make some tokens, we'll draw a card. We will swing. We'll end up having to discard something. Not Tolvada. Let's discard... I guess whatever our most expensive thing is, right? Kaya? Because we can get back Kaya with a Tolvada, we can get back Liliana with a Tolvada. Market back Walker does its thing. Friendly Teddy draws me a card. Builder's talent. I think we might be able to just win next turn. We just Corpse of the Lost, copy a token, and then 0 Elspeth. Right? I mean, if he doesn't go off right now, we can swing in the air. And he's gone. 2, 6, 10. But he doesn't have haste. Right? So we do have a problem. We need Sunfall, and we don't have it. I gotta think. Alright, Elspeth could kill one. Duskrose Reliquary could kill another one. Tolvada... we won't have enough mana to Tolvada. Let me think. I guess we need to United Battlefront and see what we hit. Yeah, I guess. Lockdown, I don't think will do it. It'll get rid of all the 2/2s though. But it will eat all of our 2-drops. Which I guess is just case. We won't have anything to sacrifice to the Dusk Rose Reliquary. Screw it. Damn it. Guess we go like this then.
Join the fight.
It's not perfect. Oh no, we didn't get to take out one of the other dragons. Crap. We needed to. We can Liliana with Tolvada and get rid of 2 of them. But that's not going to happen because he's going to have more creatures. Yeah, we really just need to pull a Sunfall. Really? You're not going to kill Elspeth? What do you... What? What? I am so confused. Alright, so if we Tolvada, get Liliana. I think we might be okay. Tolvada. Get Liliana. Dusk Rose.
You get used to the smell.
He goes down to just 1 dragon.
Don't speak ill of the undead. Time to wake up
And he
smell
is
decay.
super duper in top deck mode. He can kill the Lily, or he can put me at 5. He can't do both.
Death won't conquer
Plays a
me so
land.
easily.
What is the last card? We got 7. 7. 7. We want to get rid of this for sure. We also want to try to attack with haste to flip the Tolvada. Can we do either of those things? Corpses. Maybe we just win. I think we just win. Yeah, we just win. We'll just win. Yeah, we got you. Alright. Alright, this looks pretty good. We're gonna keep it. It'd be nice if I had a voice. I've been so sick throughout the entirety of early access. It's awful. Alright, Shadowy Backstreet. Another Shadowy Backstreet. I mean, we have to keep all our land. It's awful, though. We only have 4 tapped lands in the whole deck, and we're seeing 3 of them. So crazy. Builder's Town. All right. Philly, what are you doing? Infestation Sage. I guess we go Concealed Courtyard. Caretaker's Town. 𝕊𝕋𝕆𝕝. Pretty cool. I don't hate that. I mean, I hate that you're doing it to me, but I don't hate it. Let's keep that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go like this. And then we're gonna go like this. And then we're gonna go like this. Eat the 𝕊𝕋𝕆𝕝. Alright. Much better position now. We could Elspeth, or we could United Battlefront. I think we want to Elspeth first. Because if we hit anything off the battlefront that gives us tokens, we'll get double if Elspeth's in play. So I think that's what we do. Glare, huh? I mean, I don't hate that. Guess we'll find white. Make some jump blockers, draw a card. Have a decently high loyalty Elspeth. Novice Inspector. Seems pretty good. 𝕊𝕋𝕆𝕝. That is kind of a bummer. Is he gonna send everything at Elspeth? Kill the Enduring Innocence. One less attacker for you. Let's see here. we're gonna start with United Battlefront. Oh man. We hit everything of his except for the 𝕊�𝑒𝑟𝑟𝑎𝑛𝑐𝑒. That's not that bad. I'm okay with that. Except we do hit our Dusk's Reliquary, but we give him back a 𝕊𝑒𝑟𝑟𝑎𝑛𝑐𝑒 that he has to get rid of anyway. Which I also don't hate. And it gets ordered so that we get these afterwards, which is pretty awesome. We'll play you. We'll play you. And then just in case, we'll go like this.
Join the fight.
That seems fine. Fanatical offering the nesting bot. If we could just keep Elspeth alive one more turn, I think we might have it. I think we might have it. Right, go down to 1.
Endure.
We have so much we could do right now. Three, four, 5. So much we could do right now. I think we just want to do this though. This just seems bananas to me. I think we just win. Smack out of nowhere. Holy moly. Holy moly. Alright, we're going to keep 7 here. We'll start with the Shadowy Backstreet, try to dig for a 4th land. Or a 3-drop, either or. Builder's Talent. I guess that's not awful. You know what? Let's hold on to that. Hey, thank you for the follow, Quennel. Cheer up, 𝐻𝐿𝐿𝐾𝐳. Welcome to the stream. Alright, we're going to try and be aggressive. I decided to keep the Builder's Talent in case he was playing aggressively. We could pivot and play this on turn 2 instead of the case. I think it was the right call, not knowing. Alright, there's a lot we could do right now. I think I don't want to mess with that Rakshasa. So let's get rid of our dude. Let's eat the Rakshasa. No renew for you. And then we will solve our case so that we can tutor with it. But next turn we got United Battlefront. And that should be enough to just like... I mean, it depends what we hit, but... we definitely don't want to hit a temporary lockdown. Alright, let's thin out the deck. We're going to grab white. Because we do have more white in the deck. And we'll go for it. This looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Put the Corpse of the Lost back in our hand. Right. Alright, I'm into it. I am into it. Kaya Spirit's Justice to exile his Bloodcast? Maybe? Would be nice to recast the corpses, though. Another Bloodcast. There's a lot of potential right now. We could fully level up the Caretaker's talent. I think we're going to do it like this. Now we have 2 blockers for his Bloodcasts, and we're smashing in with our corpses. We've got all this value to just keep harnessing.
They'll talk about this fight for centuries. I won't let you fall.
We got him. Alright, we're going to try and make this work. We can Shadowy Backstreet on 1 to try to dig for another land, which is exactly what we're going to do. Builder's Talent on 2. Got a couple turns before we need to draw it. Hey, there we go. Builder's Talent. Put a nice wall in front of their attacks. Feels good. Alright, we are going to Caretaker's Talent. Because next turn, we can Corpses and make a copy of the skeleton. Oh boy. No attacks. We'll keep them as blockers. Just slow down the assault. Just slow down the assault. We could level this up and get back the lockdown to just eat his board. He'd get to keep his Zergo. He's probably just gonna sack this anyway. I don't know if I want to yet. Let me think. Maybe we just beat him at his own game. Kill us this turn? Can you kill us this turn? Get rid of 1 corpses. Sure. take 4. Let's see, we got 6 mana. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's do it like that. Ooh, that's tempting. But no, I think we buff up all the tokens. Good night! Good fight! Alright, we are going to try to make this work. Let's keep it. I need some coffee. My throat. Alright. Luckily, we're not going to need white yet. Play the case. We've got a lot of options for next turn. Sarkin. Sure. We're gonna go with corpses. We're gonna try to be aggressive. Would you like to trade, sir? You would. Nice. Brass's Tunnel Grinder. Who's Vod Foozy? I never mentioned anything about a bitter reunion. I don't even remember talking about that. I think we'll go sack this. Get rid of the treasure. Sure. End the turn. Solve the case. Alright. This looks pretty good. We got Revaz. I think we want land off of case. And we'll probably get some utility land. I'm thinking Fountainport. Play it. Play another case. Swing for 3. Dusk Rose Reliquary. Sack the token. Eat the Revaz. And then we'll put the Corpses of the Lost back in our hand. All of that seems really good. Again, I apologize for my voice. I am under the weather while trying to stream the early access event. Alright, so next turn we're going to Elspeth. We've got another solved case. We got all the value in the world.
The multiverse will be free from this. I welcome all allies.
DG. Alright. Blows his scavenger region on those guys? Wow. Let's just United Battlefront. We'll go with you and you. All of that seems absolutely insane. Then we'll just swing. Holy moly. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck text, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.